McClary as well, if Evans did like this. Now for this, the governor reached for the phone. It was 9:12. Means this governor was confused because the governor wanted to know that he wanted to be absolutely sure that Evans did not carry any portable, weapon with which he could harm McClary, and that is the reason he just he just made a phone call. The examinee and the invigilator had already been introduced by Stephens when Jackson came back and shouted to McClary through the cell door, "Can you come outside a minute, sir? You too, Stephens." Now, actually, the governor of the jail had given the order telephonically to Jackson, the prison officer, to search the belongings of McClary, because the governor was in the fear that yes, it is true that Evans did not have any portable weapon, but if McClary would bought anything with him, and if Evans would take the advantage of it to making actually McClary hostage, that is why the governor given the order telephonically to Jackson, the senior prison officer, to check McClary once properly whether anything he has taken. Okay. Now, Jackson quickly explained the governor worries, and Jackson actually told this to McClary, please to come in. Now Jackson quickly explained the governor's worries, and McClary patiently held out his arm at shoulders level, whilst Jackson lightly fixed his clothes. Something heard here, sir. Now, actually, the governor ordered Jackson that you must check McClary, and Jackson actually told this to McClary that this is all the order of the governor, and he requested McClary to help him in that frisking, in this search, and McClary also just held his shoulder hand like this in the shoulder height, whilst Jackson lightly fixed his clothes. Jackson was frisking, Jackson was searching his clothes, and something heard here, and he got something heard in something in his reading glasses. Here McClary told, "This is reading glasses," replied McClary, looking down at the spectacle case. He just actually the spectacle case of the reading glasses was there in his pocket, so Jackson found these that this is something tight or something hard, and McClary told this is the reading glasses. Question may come that when Jackson found something hard inside McClary's dress, what was it? It was the case of the spectacle. It was a spectacle case. So be very, meticulous and everywhere. Now Jackson quickly reassured him, and bending down on the landing, thumb pricked the catches of the suitcase. Now, actually, Jackson fixed McClary's dresses. Now he had taken McClary's suitcase. Don't forget that. Actually, what the suitcase contained we knew, because the description was there, that what the suitcase contained, the brown suitcase, and McClary here. Now here that he landing, thumb prick means with these two thumb, he just opened the catches of the suitcase, opened the lock of that suitcase, pressing these with these two thumbs. He just pressed, and the lock was opened. Now he picked up each envelope in turn, carefully passed his palms alone with the surface. He just picked up the envelope, he just passed his hand just like this. Suppose is an envelope, he just passed his hand, if something hard is there, okay, and surface, and seemed satisfied, and he was satisfied then. Now he ruffled curiously through a few pages of Holy Writ. He ruffled means turned quickly and casually. He ruffled and cursorily. Cursorily means hastily and not attentively. Cursorily means hastily and not attentively. Through a few pages of Holy Writ, he just saw got the book, and just like this, he was just checking. He was just checking very hastily, if something is there. Holy Writ, this is the Bible, the part of Bible, and vaguely shook the Charge Times. Charge Times is a newspaper. He had taken the newspaper and just shook the newspaper. If something, just like this, if something is there inside the newspaper. This is the part of the frisking, of checking, that he had first checked personally to McClary, then he was checking the things of McClary, that the McClary suitcase content. He's just frisking all this. Now, but and all right so far, and there was no objectionable things that Jackson could find. But one of the objects in McClary's suitcase was puzzling him sorely. But now, apart from this, there was something there in McClary's suitcase. A thing was there that puzzled him a lot, that Jackson was very much puzzled, because Jackson could not understand what does it, or what was it. Do you mind telling me why you have brought this, sir? He held up a smallish semi-inflated rubber ring, such as a young child with a waist of about 12 inches might have struggled into. Now, he got a semi-inflated rubber ring. A ring made of rubber, semi-inflated, a swollen rubber ring. Here, it has been stated that when the children, they wear these rubber ring in their waist when they learn swimming. This is semi-inflated rubber ring that he got inside McClary's suitcase. And he asked McClary that, would you, sir, please, never mind, would you tell me why you have brought this semi-inflated rubber ring? You thinking of going for a swim, sir? Because this type of rings generally the children use, they wear in their waist, so that this ring actually helps them to float on the water. So this type of rubber ring, semi-inflated rubber ring that Jackson got in McClary's suitcase. So Jackson asked, sir, why you have brought this ring? Do you want to go for swimming and all this? McClary's hitherto amiable demeanor was slightly ruffled by this tasteless little pleasantry, and he answered Jackson somewhat sorely. Now, what does it mean? McClary's hitherto means up to here. Amiable, friendly, demeanor means appearance, means McClary had hitherto, up to this, McClary had a friendly appearance. Was slightly ruffled. That friendly appearance was slightly ruffled, means slightly disturbed. Means that friendly appearance was changed a bit, by these tasteless little pleasantries. Pleasantries means joke. As Jackson made the joke with McClary, that do you want to go for swimming, that you have brought this rubber ring. So at this joke, as if the friendly appearance of McClary had this friendly appearance, it was something disturbed. And he answered Jackson somewhat sorely. Sorely means being distressed, being irritated. Sore is the opposite of sweet. So the answer was not sweet, but sore. So he was telling this, in a somehow in a not impressive way, being irritated, in an irritated way, he told. Now, and he answered Jackson solely, yeah, you must know, I suffer from hemorrhoids, and when I am sitting down for any length of time, actually hemorrhoids is piles, piles that people suffer from, piles. So the McClary told that he suffers from hemorrhoids, okay, means that piles. And when the doctor had prescribed him that when he sit on a hard surface, he has to keep this semi-inflated rubber ring on that surface, then on it he is supposed to sit. Here, that when I'm sitting down for any length of time, that any length of time means if I sit for any length of time, for 1 hour, 2 hours, half an hour, that I must keep this semi-inflated rubber ring on the surface, then I sit on it, because I suffer from hemorrhoids and piles. Very sorry, sir, I don't mean to wear. The embarrassment was still reddening Jackson's cheeks when he found the paper knife at the bottom of the case. And actually Jackson was very much puzzled. He was very much, embarrassed that yes, after all, McClary is a pope, McClary is a bishop, is a bishop, is a person, P-A-R-S-O-N, person. So he must not be offended by this. So actually Jackson asked for forgiveness, and he was visibly embarrassed that when McClary answered that this is required because he need to keep this semi-inflated rubber ring on the surface, and then he sits on it because he suffers from piles or hemorrhoids and all this. So Jackson was really embarrassed by this, and he told, I think, okay, and his cheek becomes reddened because of that. His face become red because of this embarrassment. Now, when he found the paper knife at the bottom of the case, and afterwards, ultimately, he got the paper knife. That actually McClary had the paper knife inside his, suitcase. So Jackson got this paper knife. I think I'd better keep this too, if you don't mind. That is, and gotten this, and after getting this paper knife, actually Jackson asked permission from McClary that if you don't mind, it would be better if I keep it with me, because as per the governor's order, no such portable weapon should be there inside the cell. So this comes under that portable weapon. So they actually, the officials, jail officials, don't want to take any chance with anything. That is why Jackson told her to McClary in the polite way that I feel you would not mind anything if I keep it with me. It was 18 before the governor heard their voices again, and it was clear that the examination was going to be more than a little late in getting underway. At first, the examination was scheduled at 9:15. See, it was already 9:18, so already 3 minutes late. And in that 9:18, the governor, who was listening through that microphone that was installed in Evans's chamber, Evans's cell, and through that microphone, the governor was listening through the receiver. So it was 9:18 when he heard the conversation between the examinee and the examiner. The examinee and the invigilator, okay, the examinee and the invigilator, and the governor realized that it would take, more time, because already the scheduled time was crossed. It was 9:15 was the scheduled time. It was 9:18, so it would take time. Here it is going to be more than a little late in getting underway. It would be a little late in starting. Now McClary is asking, and governor was sitting in his chamber. He could listen this through that, through that microphone. McClary, you have got a watch, Evans? Yes, sir. McClary, I will be telling you when to start and again when you have 5 minutes left. All right. Now McClary was telling this to the examinee, that is Evans, that you have a watch. McClary told yes. Then the governor, the invigilator, that is McClary, told, okay, I will be telling you when you should start, and I should give a warning before 5 minutes of completion of the examination. All right. Then silence. Then again McClary told, there is a plenty more of these writing papers. Do you need it? And he told, I am having a plenty more writing paper. Means these are the loose sheet that you people know, that if you, whenever you write on the paper, if you require that page, I would provide to you. That McClary told to Evans. Now McClary again. Now write the name of the paper, 021, then -1 in the top left hand corner. Now this 021 -1. You must remember this, because who knows, in MCQ it might come that what was the name, paper number of the paper, name of the paper, right? The name of the paper. This is the code, that the paper that we are reading, English code. It has a code. Do you know the code of English code? I'm telling you, 301. That in the board exam also you will have to write that code of the paper, 301. So here also this is the code of the paper, the 021. Then -1 in the top of the left corner, and he had to write in the top of the left corner. Now silence again. Now McClary, in the top right hand corner, write your index number, that is 313. Remember, question may come, what was the index number of Evans in that O-level examination, German O-level examination? 313, 313. And the box just below, write your center number, 271. So index number was 313, center number 271. All right. So these are the formalities the examination yet not started. Before examination, these are the formalities that Evans need to write on the paper, and McClary was dictating him that you should write there in left corner, bottom up right, index just below index number, and all these left to right. Now McClary, silence. At 9:20 a.m. It was 9:20 a.m. So there were 5 minutes left. The exam was scheduled to start at 9:15. They were already 9:20. Now McClary. Now I'm now going to. Now Evans is not going to stay here. Is he now? There, Stephens was also there. The junior prison officer. He was standing by the side of Evans, inside the cell. Stephen was standing inside the cell, by the side of Evans. So when McClary told, now I'm going to announce that you should start writing. In that time, Evans told, he is not going to stay here, is he? Now he is asking to McClary, is he going to stay here? He is pointing to Stephen, the junior prison officer. He was standing there. McClary told, I don't know about that. McClary told, I don't know about that. Whether he will be going to, or he will be standing here during examination, I don't know. Now Stephens, Mr. Jackson has given me strict instructions too. Mr. Jackson has given me strict instructions too. So Stephens, the junior prison officer, told that senior prison officer Jackson had given him strict instruction that during the examination he must stand by the side of Evans, and that is the reason that he was standing by the side of Evans. The governor reached for the phone. The governor was listening all this. The governor realized that Jackson was there inside the cell. He was standing by the side of Evans while Evans would write in the examination. And then the governor reached for the phone, and then immediately the governor made a phone call to Jackson. Jackson, good. Get Stephens out of the cell, will you? I think we are perhaps overdoing things. Now, governor heard that it is true. It is true. Suppose when you are writing in your examination, and if a man, your teacher, stands constantly by your side, then you feel irritated, isn't it? Feel uneasy that if somebody always stand by the side and see what I am writing in the examination, it's an uneasy feeling. So actually Evans complained against it, and the governor heard it that Jackson was standing inside the cell by the side of Evans. So Jackson, governor immediately made a phone call to Jackson and told to get Stephens out from the cell. And not only that, I think we were overdoing things, and governor told to Jackson, we are overdoing things. we have enough security measures, so no need for Stephens to stand by the side of Evans. Take him out. As you wish, sir. So Jackson told, as you wish, and as per instruction, Stephens must come out of that cell. The governor heard the exchanging in the cell, heard the door clank once more, and heard McClary announce that the examination was begun at last. And actually the governor heard the opening sound of the gate. It means Stephen was coming out. Again, the room was locked, and again the governor heard that McClary to announce the time, to announce the examination, and that begin at last. It was 9:20. It was 9:25 a.m. and there was a great calm. So the examination was started at 9 past 25 a.m. 10 minutes late. It was scheduled to 9:15. It was actually started at 9:25, and there was a gate calm. Gate calm means quietness, extreme quietness. Nobody was speaking. At 9:40, means just 15 minutes when the examination was over, 15 minutes when the examination started, the examination board rang through, and the assistant secretary with special responsibility for modern languages asked to speak to the governor. 9:40, the governor received a phone call. Who was making a phone call? Now this was from the board, and through assistant secretary with special responsibility for modern languages. Assistant secretary with special responsibility for modern languages. He made a phone call to to the governor because he wanted to talk to him. The examination has already started, no doubt. He first question he asked to the governor. Examination has started. It was 9:40. It was scheduled 9:15. So it was started, no doubt. A quarter of an hour ago, and Jackson, actually the governor told yes, a quarter of an hour ago. A quarter means 15 minutes, so obviously 9:25 plus 15, 9:40. So 9:40 he received the phone call, and governor told a quarter of an hour ago the examination started, means examination started at 9:25. Okay. Yes, well, there was a correction slip which some fool had forgotten to place in the examination package. Very brief, could the governor please now from that side, the secretary with special duty, he informed the governor that there is a correction in the question. You people are very much accustomed that during examination there remains few corrections in the question. We teacher go to the class and you tell this correction and write down in the board. So here also, as it is board exam, so there is in the question also correction is there. So the secretary with special duty, he told the governor that some fool had forgotten to put the correction slip in the question papers envelope. So would the governor please tell the correction to the examiner? Yes, of course. I will put you straight through to Mr. Jackson in doing. Hold the line a minute. And Jackson told, okay, no problem. I am actually giving this line to talk to you, to Mr. Jackson, who is there in the charge of examination. He is in the D-wing. So would you please tell to Mr. Jackson that what type of corrections will be there in the question paper. The governor told this to the secretary with special duty. Understood so far? So today we are leaving it. It's time up already. Here we are leaving that a phone call. The governor received a phone call from the board. It was the secretary with special duty. Okay. He made a phone call and he told that there is a correction in the question paper, and the governor told okay. He was actually giving the phone to he was transporting this phone call to Jackson, the senior prison officer in the D-wing, and the secretary with special duty. He would talk to Jackson, and what would happen we will see in the next day. I feel you have understood, and thank you very much for being with me in this class. Thank you. Okay, thank you. We will again resume in our next class.